Hello, so this is my first real video and this is my fourth time recording it. So I'm gonna try and just get this done and just do it right this time, just the first way through. So just I hope it works. So first and foremost, this is about the new update that was just given to the Digitakt and all of the black boxes. So the Digitone, the Digitakt, and the Syntakt. But I only have the Digitakt, so I'm only going to focus on the Digitakt. But anyways, this update brought in a new mode called Song Mode. This is a new functionality that the Digitakt didn't have before, and it was actually a functionality that a lot of people kind of really wanted on the Digitakt. I mean, it's on the Analog 4, on the Octatrack, and the Analog Rhythm, so there's already song mode on some of the other boxes, so we're kind of hoping that would end up on the Digitakt, but the Digitakt didn't have it when it was released. And as you know, Elektron updates their gear pretty often. It's pretty awesome, and once they do, I mean, by often I don't mean like once every month, right? Like a video game, or like a anything else that gets updated really really quickly. But what I mean in like as far as like music gear terms, there's companies that they release products and then don't update them at all, like they just like forget they exist or something. But Elektron just doesn't seem to be that kind of company. It seems like they are paying attention to some of the things that people are wanting to see and delivering. So the Digitakt last update was a game changer as well. It added the external mixer in, which was really, really cool. And you had a dual monophonic mode, and then you have your stereo mode, and that was great. So this update has finally added the song mode. And so this video is going to be me discussing song mode, how to use it, how to access it, and just some little things like that. So first and foremost, first thing that I want to kind of talk about is you got to update Overbridge. If you update your Digitakt and you don't update Overbridge, it's just not going to work. Your Digitakt will not connect to Overbridge. Overbridge will not recognize your Digitakt. Same thing with transfer, I believe. They will not. It will not not be able to recognize it. So update Overbridge as well as your as you download the Digitakt update as well, so you can get them to work simultaneously. I learned that the hard way my first time trying to record this video. It took me a long time to set this up and get it working because I didn't realize I had to update Overbridge as well. So yeah, Overbridge also needs to be updated. Okay, with that out of the way, so let's talk about the Digitakt. When you turn on the Digitakt, nothing looks different at all. It looks exactly the same. This is my project. It's called Untitled. I mean, it's got a name. The project has a name, but the pattern doesn't have a name. So the pattern is Untitled. But this is my little project, and right off the bat, the way to get into song mode is by clicking on the pattern menu button. It's the button with the 3 dots next to the settings button, just like that. And this menu will open up and it'll say song mode off. It's off by default, right? Like it doesn't just have it on perpetually. So you got to turn it on. You got to click yes. And when you click yes, it'll turn it on and it will exit that menu. But as you can see, the light for that button is now yellow. It's glowing yellow, meaning that song mode is on. In the Analog 4, song mode is very easy to turn on. You just literally click the button because it's got a button for song mode. This, you've got to hit the button, click yes, exit menu, and then once you want to edit it, you have to go in and then open that menu up again. So if I click yes here, it'll turn song mode off. I don't want to do that. And then I've got 4 options. I've got menu, I've got edit, I've got load, and I've got loop. Menu is going to take you to the song mode setting menu, where you can rename your song, you can clear a song, you can load a song in, you can save your song to the project. Yeah, that's basically what that is. The next is edit, and we'll get into that after I talk about load, which is literally just it just opens up this menu here where you can load in the song. If you had songs on that menu, you can load it in and it'll just play it, which is really cool, which means you could set up multiple different songs and save those all to the project and kind of like move between them, load them in. The next is loop, and that function is not on yet because we have to have a song going first. Okay, so that's the explanation of those little buttons. Now let's go to edit. So if you click on the right arrow button, it will open up the edit function, and this over here is how we get into our song rows. Okay, so first of all, this song is empty. That's what it says right there. There's no rows inserted yet. This is just an empty song. As you can see, let's go through the icons that we see. There's a little number signal. That symbol means the pattern number. I mean, actually, not my bad. Whoa. It means the song row number, the row number. I apologize for that. that the pattern number goes under pattern. Duh. The label is the label for the row. So you can choose from their library of labels, and I'll go through them, but there's a lot of choices there. And also you can have it be empty, or you can also have it be the pattern name. So those are your options. Then you've got the little repeat symbol, the little loop symbol, and that is the number of times you're going to go through a pattern before you move to the next row. Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. And then the little symbol with the arrow moving to that line is just how long does your pattern last for? Is it 32 steps? Is it 16 steps? Is it 15 step? Who knows? But that data will be written right there. That information will be written right there. And then you have your tempo marking. That's what that little metronome symbol is. And then that little mute symbol are your mutes. If that row has mutes on it, it'll have that little symbol. So let's just start inserting some rows. You're going to click function. And as you're holding function down, you're going to click down. And this inserts rows. I'm going to insert 12. Just so I have a whole populated area. So here we can use the labels. So here I'm gonna use this label intro, and that's gonna be my pattern 1. It's gonna go through two. Let's do 2 times, and then yeah, and then here I can choose what I want to mute, what I don't want to mute. So here I want track 7 and 8 to be muted, because those are just symbols that are pretty loud, and I don't want them to be there at the very beginning. So here is the intro. I don't want the kick in, and that's my track 1. And I also don't want my analog 4 to be playing at the same time. Those are MIDI tracks that I don't want to be sending to the analog 4 at that time. The analog 4, you can't see it, but it's underneath here. Yeah, that's that's where it is. The other one, track 9, though, I definitely do want on, because that is connected to my note coast. So if I moved out of here, you can hear it. So yeah, anyways, those are the tracks I want muted. Now I'm gonna do the same exact pattern here, and I'm gonna make this still the intro, and I want this to do yeah, let's do 2, And then still don't want the cymbals in yet. Still don't want track 10 in yet. That's a very specific synth. But I do want the kick in, and I do want to have track 11 in as well. So that'll be that. And then we'll do another intro row, and this time we'll have everything on, and this will last for 4. It'll go through 4 times. All right, so now I've got 3 rows labeled intro, equals up to about 8 little like patterns that we're going through. All right, so now let's say I want to move to pattern 2. I like having pattern 2 on, and we'll have it on for like 8. And we'll have it on for every track. So nothing is muted. Yeah. And then this will lead us into pattern 4. Oops, I forgot to label that one. This one we'll call bridge. And then this one we'll call jam. Yeah, jam. That one's jam 2. And then this one I want to make pattern 3. And I only want them to go through once. Notice they're different tempos, and it's all written right there. All the different tempos. So you can really see it. And then, yeah, nothing muted for that. Jam continues. Keeps going. But I want this to be 4 because I'm trying to get a repeat of those 2 patterns moving between each other. Yeah. And then let's do break. It's not going to be a break, like a break beat or anything like that. Yeah. So break, let's have that last 4. 4. And then we'll have this be, I don't know, chorus. I don't really care too much about making everything correctly labeled. It's just to kind of get this going, just to demonstrate the labels. So let's have like 8 of this guy, and then it'll continue pattern 6 there and pattern 6 here, and this will be like our outro, and we'll build our outro by muting certain things. So here we'll mute this and that one. Yeah, we'll have that going. Yeah, and then we'll have this, the last one be with all of 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 muted. Yeah. And then actually I do want to insert a new row, and I want to insert it between this one, break, and chorus. So the way I do that is I just click function down, and it'll insert it right underneath the row that I was on. So now there's a new one that's looks exactly the same, on right underneath the pattern that I was just on. So yeah, I'm gonna make this the chorus, pattern 6, and it's it's not gonna last for 4, it'll last for 2. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to have all of this start off muted and then move into the track, the pattern, but completely unmuted. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is turn the loop feature to be stop. Instead of it loop at the end, it'll just stop. So by default, it's set to loop. So if you do all this stuff and then you exit out and you don't change this, then by the time you get to the end of your song, it'll loop back to the beginning. If that's what you want, then that's what you want. But I don't want that, so I'm turning it off, turning it to stop. So yeah. Here's my song. So yeah, that's all you gotta do. Then you click no to exit that section, and then if you go to song mode, now you have the loop feature. And what the loop feature does is, as you're playing through a row, you click loop, and it'll keep looping that row. Yeah, and that's it. And then once you turn it back off, it resumes the song where you left off. So yeah, that's pretty handy. And yeah, I'm not going to use it because I'm not really, I don't feel like it. So, but that's basically what it does. It'll take the row that you're on. If you're on row 1, then it'll keep looping row 1 until you turn it off. So yeah, that's how that goes. So now I'm going to go to menu, and I actually want to save this, and I have one already saved. It's called Untitled, but this one I'm going to call song. I'll call it Song 2 by Blur. Okay, so anyways, so that's Song 2. I just saved it. So now if I were to go like here and go to menu and click load, you can see it's here now. So I could load my old one, or I could load this one, Song 2. Anyways, yeah. The next thing that I want to talk about before I just play my song is one thing that I noticed my first time using song mode, or first time like using the Digitakt since the update, is that the pattern menu button doesn't function the same way anymore. Like obviously when you click on it, it opens up the song mode menu, but that also means that it's no longer going to open the pattern menu. This button, once you clicked it before, it would just open up the pattern menu, but now it only opens up song mode. So how do you get to the pattern menu? Well, first of all, if you click on settings, you'll get access to it. You'll also notice there's a song menu now, and the song menu is the same exact menu as, well, the one that you get when you click on song mode and then you click menu. It takes you to the same exact menu. So that's what song menu is, but also right underneath it is pattern menu. So that's how you access the pattern menu now. Before, you could just click on that little button with the 3 dots and it would open up the pattern menu, and then you can just be there. And but now you've got to open up settings and then go scroll down to the pattern menu and click it. There is another way to do it. The other way is by using your function key to click function and the pattern menu button to open up the import/export menu. Since the import/export menu is a sub menu of the pattern menu, then when you open up the sub menu, or you go straight to the import/export menu, you are technically also opening like the pattern menu. So if you click no, it'll take you to the pattern menu. So that's how that works. A couple of different ways to get to it. If you're all the way up here and you don't want to scroll down, I don't know, like 4 clicks, then you could do it in 2, right? Like that's pretty good. Anyways, not that anyone's really going to miss that. I don't think anyone's going to care, but it's just something that I noticed. But yeah, so I'm just going to play my song. Notice how up here in the top, we've got an SO2. That means song 2. I've got a little bar that acts as a progress bar for how I'm like progressing through the row. So you can see I'm at row 1 of 13, called intro on pattern 1. And as I play this, you'll see that it starts to fill up. It will not fill up until it has gone through that row the number of times I inserted. So if I told this to go through it 4 times, it's not going to fill up until I've already played that row 4 times. It has nothing to do with the pattern. It has everything to do with the song row. So when you're looking at this, if you're like halfway through it, you've probably gone through like 2 repeats. You're not halfway through your pattern. So just a little thing to clarify, but you'll see it in action, right? It's not going to fill up until I've already gone through all my repetitions that I inserted on the row. So yeah, anyways, without further ado, here's my song. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening if you do listen.
Thank you.